Yesterday was a busy day. I woke up on an airplane with an hour left on my 7-hour flight to Ireland. I looked at my watch. It was 4 a.m., but I adjusted my watch to Irish time, so it was around 9. The in-flight breakfast was a bacon roll and the best tea I've ever had. That's what happens when you cross the pond. We landed in Dublin, and a taxi took us to our hotel. Fun fact about our hotel: the Rotary Club of Dublin meets there, and for those who don't know, my Magnet Program's Center of International Studies is partners with the Rotary Club of Orlando. We checked in, and we were off on our adventure. It was a walking tour of Dublin. It was very informative, but it was a lot of walking, so I was very tired. And finally, Catherine, I did not see any cute redheads. I'll try tomorrow. Tour of North Ireland today. On our drive to the first stop in Belfast, we learned about the geography of Dublin. There are 6 counties in Northern Ireland, part of the UK, and 26 in the Republic of Ireland. We went on a hike to the top of a hill. It was a mountain. The hike up was hard on the lungs, and the hike down was hard on the knees. Next, we headed on a black cab tour of actual Belfast. They talked about the Troubles, which was a 29-year war between the Catholic and Protestant communities. The tour was dark emotionally, but, if you don't know what is going on in the world around you, you don't know how you can change it. Anywho, we left Belfast and checked in our hotel, and spent the night. Finally, Catherine, I did find a redhead today, but I don't think she's your type. On our drive to the Giant's Causeway, our tour guide was talking about how the causeway was made. Now, he talked about the boring science, but then he told us how it was actually made. You see, in the olden times, when 2 countries were having a conflict, they would send representatives of their country to battle each other. Now, you see, Ireland and Scotland were having a conflict and decided to have the battle. They made a stadium between the 2 countries and chose their representatives. The Irish one was scared due to the incoming battle and asked his wife for help. His wife made baby clothes and told him to get in them. So when the Scottish rep saw the wife of the Irishman and the Irishman as the baby, the Scottishman representative ran away due to the giant baby, and he destroyed the stadium. And finally, Catherine, I did see a cute redhead today. Today we went to a circular Celtic safety center. The Celtic people built this to defend themselves against the Vikings, but my tour guide told a better story. In the olden days, the cavemen roamed Ireland. They were hunter-gatherers, but as they settled down to become more farmer-based, they were disrupting land. The native Irish wasn't happy about that, so they decided they would live underground, creating energy portals to the underworld. And that's how leprechauns were made. Finally, Catherine, I did find an awesome redhead for you. Top of the morning to ya. I'm guessing not your tasting. We started our day on a hike to a castle, and it was a beautiful sight. Now, most castles I visit were for protecting the inhabitants, but this one was just to enjoy the views. Here are my parents with said views. Afterwards, we went to a shop that makes tweed using a loom. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a tweed hat that screams JR. Finally, we took a boat ride and saw some cliffs. We checked into our hotel room and no Wi-Fi. That's why I'm kind of recording this late. And finally, Catherine, here's a redhead for you. Oh, I didn't see you there. Well, let me tell you about today. We went to another castle and learned about the 9-Year War, which lasted a year less than a decade. We saw another energy point where native Irish went to the underworld and became leprechauns. Then interacted with sheep and their sheepdogs, and finally take a dip in a lake. 'Twasn't cold due to it being Springfield. Lastly, I went to a fancy pants hotel where I recorded 2 of these due to my last hotel not having frickin' Wi-Fi. Finally, Catherine, here's some red hair for you. As we left the Fancy Pants Hotel, we went to a blowhole. During the winter months, water would spray out of the hole. Then we went on a 32-kilometer bike ride. After that 2-hour bike ride, I passed out on our hotel floor, therefore not recording yesterday. Today, I walked up a 765-meter mountain barefoot. It's called the Kilpatrick. People do this patronage to repent for their sins, as I repented for my own. Then I went to a beach and just chillaxed. And on our drive back to Dublin, our guide talked about the potato famine, leprechauns, and Molly O'Malley. Now, this was our last day of our vagabond tour, so I want to thank Tim, my tour guide, and everyone on my tour. Finally, Catherine, here's a cute redhead. Today was a long travel day, so really nothing much happened. But big highlights, I saw another damn castle, and I found a hat that actually suits me. So I'm happy about that. And finally, Catherine, here's a redhead for you. Today we left to go to Doolin. We went to a beach, and then went to another beach. But this beach, the second beach, was special because Star Wars was filmed there. Well, at least one of the scenes. Then we went on a mountain hike, and then drove on a very thin road, hopped onto a ferry with our cars on it, so really I drove onto the ferry, which was cool. And then we went to a pub here in Doolin for traditional Irish music. And I became very tired and went home and not recorded. Anyways, Catherine, here is a very good boy, who's also a redhead. For clarification, that's the redhead. That is not. Just wanted to make sure you know. We hiked 7 kilometers today around the Cliffs of Moher. The hike was difficult because, as Tim, my tour guide from the first half of the trip, would say, the hills were rolling. Then we went to a whiskey distillery, and the guy started talking politics more than anything whiskey related. And by the way, his point zigged and zagged more than PJ driving on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And then, of course, we ended the day enjoying traditional Irish music. Finally, Catherine, I found a redhead so hot that I had to take a picture of him. But unfortunately, I did not get usage rights to use his face. Didn't get a release, so maybe this blurred picture won't affect it, but he's super hot. Today we slept in. That's really it. We slept in, went to Dublin. Yeah. Here's your redhead. Oh, I also forgot that we went to a distillery. Yeah, that's now pretty much it. Finally, Catherine, here's the full length of the redhead. I think that's a different cow from before. Whoopsie. Today we did a hop-on, hop-off bus tour. Some highlights were hopping on and hopping off. What we did in between, I have no idea. It was too cold. It's 56 degrees here. Then we went to the Guinness Experience, which is a museum dedicated solely to beer. So, as a non-alcoholic drinker, too young, not my thing. Lastly, we went to an Irish house party. The food was okay, but the music was lively and energetic and was just a hoot and a holler. Finally, Catherine, today's redhead is a special one. This is Susan. She runs a bed and breakfast in Doolin and makes the best oatmeal.